If you saw Tuesday's episode of the show, then you know what today is about. We're headed back to Comic-Con and covering the movies we learned about.
Today on the show.
Good morning, Scallywags! As I mentioned, Tuesday we covered all the TV news that we got from Comic-Con 2018, and today we're going back to Comic-Con to cover the movies.
Cover the movie aspects of it. Biggest aspect of any Comic-Con, especially San Diego Comic-Con, is going to be the trailers, the reveals for the new
we got
stuff.
Some good ones this year.
Did we ever get some good ones?
And we will get to that in just a minute. But before we do, let's cover some of the news and things that we got without trailers.
That's right.
Things like we got some updates on Halloween 2018.
Yep.
Can't wait.
It Chapter 2, some Venom news coming at you. So, Spoo, why don't we kick it off? Why don't you give us some of that Halloween goodness?
We didn't get a lot of new information. We did learn that they showed some new footage. This it basically is kind of ignoring 2 through 8.
Yeah.
And
the Rob Zombie movies, they're gone.
Yeah, so this is not a new reboot or anything. This is a direct sequel to the original Halloween, where Michael Myers is not related to Laurie Strode, but after 40 years of being locked up, he is coming back and seeking some revenge.
Yeah, time for some revenge.
The trailer looks amazing, and they apparently showed some new footage. We have not seen that footage yet.
Yeah, that was exclusive Hall H stuff. They had all cell phones. Well, supposedly all cell phones need to be put away, but eventually it's going to leak.
Which is surprising because usually there's like leaked, some leaked footage of it that comes out, but. Not so much.
Yeah, they
this
were
time
pretty
around.
tight on Hall H this year.
Like I think I've seen one leaked thing, period, and that was just one still image from the Venom footage that they showed. The Venom footage, they said that they show a lot more of Venom himself. Shows that like at one point in time he actually bites a guy's head off.
Brains.
Yeah, very violent, very bloody, very dark.
What did you expect though from a Venom comic book movie? I mean, he's the dark character. When he was first brought out, he was the anti-Spider-Man.
Right, and then they said they didn't want to make this like a straight up horror movie, but that it is pretty dark through most of it. Now, I've also heard. This has come out since Comic-Con, but I've also heard that Sony is now actually scrambling to, when going back for reshoots and whatnot, to try to add Spider-Man to the movie somehow. Now, we've heard for a long time that there was a Peter Parker cameo. Now, whether or not any of this comes to be, we won't know until the movie comes out.
We won't know.
But yeah.
It will be kind of interesting to have them put a dark, hard R-rated movie actually into the MCU.
Yes.
And if you're going to put Tom Holland as Spider-Man in there somewhere, even as an after-credit cameo, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
All of us.
Actually, we've heard at least a rumor of what the after-credit scene is for this movie, and that is basically the introduction of Cletus Cassidy, also known as Carnage.
If there's another character that has to have a hard R, it's got to be a Carnage.
God,
that would be a great Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I'm just Venom 2.
Venom 2.
Now we do have other symbiotes in this movie. This new footage did show at least one of those. This is basically, I forget the name of the comic that they're basing this off of, but it basically covers the Children of Venom, which there are many.
That is one thing I'm not quite getting, and I'm not feeling that vibe. Is in the comics, the Venom symbiote was an alien. It was an alien symbiote, and here it's a lab created.
No, it is. It is.
Is it still?
Because we see this. The
other symbiotes are supposedly lab created.
I'm not sure on that one, but we know that at least that a evil corporation does get their hands on the symbiotes, and
God, that would be amazing if it was Oscorp. But it's not.
It's not. But they try to turn them into weapons, basically, and those are going to be the main antagonists for the film. It Chapter 2. We got
Chapter 2.
Our first glimpse at the at least one scene of the movie. It is the scene where the Losers Club comes back together, the adult versions. So we've now seen the full cast, which includes Bill Hader as Richie, Jessica Chastain as
you just went by
Beverly,
yeah.
and oh man, what is his name? James McAvoy as Bill. And
is there a movie he hasn't been in recently? Right? James McAvoy. I mean, he was in the M. Night Shyamalan movie, which we'll get to that here in a little bit. He's Professor X and he's Professor X in X-Men, and now he's in
Chapter
Stephen King universe.
The scene we got is just basically the scene where they all come back together. They're in the Chinese restaurant, if you remember the 1990 original, that scene. And it basically just has one line of dialogue that comes from Richie, and I can't remember what that line of dialogue was now, but that's basically all we got. So just kind of a glimpse of the cast in character.
A tease.
There are now some set photos starting to come out.
I've noticed them popping up every year and there.
That shows the kids back together. Yeah. So more flashbacks with the original kids from the first one, which is funny because it's been 2 years since they shot the first one. So and these kids are like, especially like Finn Wolfhard. It seems like he's a foot taller now, and
puberty.
These kids are sprouting up like weeds, and big difference. So it's going to be interesting to see how those flashbacks look.
We got a teasing photo of Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah.
Shocker! Steve is back.
Right? Yeah.
I thought he died in the first one. He sacrificed himself, a la Captain America.
And now it's 70 years later. So how is he still the same age? So that's going to be interesting to see.
Was he frozen in time too?
And they have come out and said that no, he is not a ghost. This is not a flashback. That he's really there. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm really hoping for WB's sake, lightning strikes twice with Wonder Woman. Yeah. I really do. And you know what else I would like to see?
Casting of Kristen Wiig as Cheetah.
It's kind
interesting
of
to see how they're going to do that.
I would kind of like to see Linda Carter. DC, if you're listening,
I think she actually has a cameo.
I would love to see Linda Carter have a cameo, just a nod somewhere.
If I'm not mistaken, she does have a cameo in this. I could be completely wrong about that, but I have heard that she does.
I would love to see her have a cameo in that.
That would be fantastic.
I would love to have seen her as Queen
Hippolyta.
Yeah. She'd have made a great episode.
That would have been
great.
Just
to have the thing of here,
the
tiara.
Right? That would be just perfect.
Passing the torch, yes.
Yeah.
Now, they were only 3 weeks into filming as of Comic-Con, so the footage that they showed was very, very brief. Apparently just shows Wonder Woman kind of coming out with the lasso in hand. She kind of beats up some bad guys, runs up to a child and smiles. And that was pretty much all they showed. But 3 weeks into filming, they wanted something.
I'm really excited to see the costumes that they're going to leave for 1984. It's going to be very that middle turning point between the 70s disco and the 80s.
We've seen her costume in this one, which basically looks like the costume that she's been wearing all along. It's only the colors are a lot brighter.
Yeah, they're very vivid.
Being that it's in 84, I want to see the star-spangled underwear.
Just so long as it's not the white jumpsuit.
Yes. That was in the 90s.
That was in the 90s. That was a bad decision by DC, but that's okay. Moving right along, the Deadpool panel at SDCC. We got a great nod. The extended cut is coming. The bigger, bolder, louder cut or something, what Ryan Reynolds said.
An infamous scene that they talked about early on that was cut from the movie whenever he goes through his time-traveling thing at the end of the movie where he actually goes back and kills a baby Hitler.
Yeah.
That scene will be back in the movie. There is also what could maybe be a tease for the future.
Who knows?
Where the scene where he shows up to kill the X-Men Origins Deadpool. that scene is slightly longer where he actually walks up to Wolverine and he's like, so in the future, if I put a group together, you should say yes.
You should say yes.
So will Hugh Jackman put the claws back on?
Will he come out for an actual X-Force movie? I mean, that's in development right now.
Yes, it is.
Kind of put on a back burner depending upon what happens with Fox and Disney. I hope that wraps up sooner rather than later. I really, really do.
Now, a couple pieces of news to come out of there, and this isn't; these aren't necessarily related to movies per se. But there was an interview with Nathan Fillion, and if you haven't seen here recently, he did the Uncharted kind of a short
it was a
film.
fan movie,
Yeah,
which
fan
was
film.
amazing. Go see it; it's on YouTube.
Now Nathan Fillion, for in just the nerd world, there are a handful of characters that everyone is like, we want him to play. Like for the longest time, it was Green Lantern. But here recently, like one of the biggest characters that people want to see him as is Booster Gold.
Now think about that, Booster Gold.
Yeah. Now there is actually a Booster Gold movie that is being talked about over at Warner Brothers. They're actually developing this.
Yeah.
It's on their list of movies that they're putting together. And the last update on the project was that it is still in development, despite the fact that there haven't really been any updates recently. But they have said it is still in development. Now there was an Easter egg in Man of Steel that showed his comic book company, but basically they asked him, Screen Rant asked him, would you be interested in this? And while he's not campaigning to play the character, he said he would definitely be down for it.
Oh, I could see him as Booster Gold easily.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. He could make a great Booster Gold.
The Booster Gold movie is actually being put together by Zach Stentz, who wrote Thor. He's co-writing the script with Greg Berlanti, who's actually the guy that heads all of the CW shows.
Yeah, over at the Arrowverse.
And he's also set to produce the film and possibly even direct the film.
So WB, please, let's get this underway. If your movies could ever use a little bit of comic relief, Booster Gold would be the one to do
fantastic.
it. It would be fantastic.
And Nathan Fillion, he basically is one of these guys that's up in the air for if Marvel or DC grabs him first. Now, of course, he had cameos in like Guardians of the Galaxy, and he almost was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He had another cameo, but it was cut. Where he actually was playing Wonder Man, a member of the Avengers. There was basically...
He would make a good Wonder Man,
Yes, he would. And the Wonder Man is also an actor by day, and basically the cameo was that there was a film festival of his movies, and so all the posters and things showed Nathan Fillion as him. So since that was cut, he's not officially in Marvel. He's just cameo material at this point. So whoever grabs him first...
You got gold on your hand if you do it. I mean,
I see what you did
there.
there.
You see what I did there?
Booster Gold.
Booster Gold. We cannot talk about SDCC and things that happen at San Diego Comic-Con without talking about the falling out between Disney and James Gunn.
Yeah. So James Gunn made some what I consider to be obviously sarcastic remarks on Twitter 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And now 3 movies later, that being Guardians 1, Guardians 2, and he actually wrote and directed all of the Guardians scenes in Infinity War.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden those remarks are coming back to bite him in the butt, and they've officially fired him. So
yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, here's a director and a writer who has made Disney billions. And we have a bell on screen, but that's cool. Made billions of dollars, almost $2 billion for the company. And, doesn't give a chance to explain himself, doesn't get a chance to publicly apologize.
Now, he actually has, I saw an article today, as a matter of fact, that he's finally released a statement. I have not looked at that yet.
Yeah, we have not.
But Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana have also kind of released statements over the last couple of days. But now,
the guy who plays Yondu, he said he's done. If James Gunn if Disney will not hire him back, he's done.
Which now, from what they said, they basically said that he is until the situation is resolved. So I mean, there is maybe, I guess, some possibility that in the future, I don't know. You know our stance on people being overly sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that happened 10 years ago. Disney, come on. I mean, there are skeletons in your past.
Oh God, yeah. And the tweets. I mean, I don't even know if the ones that I saw were real or not. I mean, these were ones that people had claimed were real, and reading over them, sure, there was some kind of offensive stuff in there, but it was things that were so outlandish
Yeah,
that they couldn't possibly be taken seriously. But it's
the fact of the matter was it wasn't even a real journalistic agency that dug these tweets up. It was like a online Onion type a news agency.
And I think that's kind of what the whole until the thing is resolved is maybe looking into see if this is real or not. But I don't know. I don't know. But that's just kind of the news that we got there, and that's still a kind of a developing thing.
But Disney, understand that he made you almost $2 billion. Come on. Some things
two of your most successful movies,
you can just kind of go,
of your most successful movie.
You can just kind of go, James, don't do it again.
You know that thing that you did
back when
you were working for Troma?
Yeah, don't do that again and we'll overlook this. It's called a verbal corrective action. You do it once and you're done. You
release
take
an apology and an explanation of like, hey, I was working for Troma Films at the time. Have you ever seen one of our movies?
Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes. Some things I think people are, again, like we said a couple Thursdays ago, we're so worried about making the wrong statement at the wrong time towards the wrong group of people.
Everything that anyone says seems to offend someone somewhere.
I'm sure we've offended people somewhere.
I'm sure my saying that would be offensive to some people.
But you know what? Come talk to us.
We'll me all the time.
I know. I offend myself all the time. So anyway. I can only imagine.
But now let's get to the meat and potatoes of SDCC. That's what everyone goes to. Hall H.
So, starting off with some of the smaller ones, we got a new trailer for Predators.
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, it looks really, really good.
It does look very interesting.
After the last few debaucheries that were Alien versus Predator.
Wasn't a lot of new footage from the last trailer that we got for it, but still looks very good. If I'm understanding correctly, it almost looks like Predator actually has to team up with a group of
military to fight something else?
To fight a bigger, nastier predator.
Oh.
Which we kind of got a tease of in the movie Predators.
We did. Yeah.
We also got a trailer for Overlord finally.
Yes, very. As I put it to Chapo the first time I watched the trailer, it is every bit of Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies.
Yes.
It's just got that feel. It's a good.
Now, originally they were saying that this was actually going to be the next Cloverfield movie, set in the Cloverfield anthology verse. But I guess now they're saying that is not the case. It's set during World War II and Nazi zombies.
There you go.
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing. I just the thought of being behind enemy lines. You're this small group of soldiers and. Oh, we have to deal with those now.
and it's not what's that one movie? Was it Dead Snow or something like that with Nazi zombies? But that's just total cheese. This looks awesome.
This looks really good.
Yes, if you haven't seen these trailers, look it up because it looks amazing. Up next, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah,
we get our first look at Johnny Depp as Grindelwald himself. Now, I actually haven't seen Fantastic Beasts, so I really don't have a stance on this one.
I saw it. The first time I saw it was last winter at Dungeons and Hotel of Terror. I actually enjoyed it.
I am excited.
Okay.
And you're excited.
And you're expressing it in freestyle dance.
How I feel about Johnny Depp.
And I was about to say that's actually what a lot of the fans are saying. He's got that one contact that's obviously a contact.
Yeah.
I mean, I have those contacts. You've seen me wear those contacts. But yeah, that's kind of a lot of fans are up in arms about the casting of Johnny Depp. I mean,
wait, Sherry Bruckheimer is onto this movie?
Or Tim Burton?
Tim Burton?
Like, it's not so much that like Johnny Depp was cast. It's just he looks funny.
He does look funky. Yeah, I'll give it that.
It looks like they finally did a Sweeney Todd Harry Potter crossover.
Chapo's not wrong.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. The first one was it struck a good chord. It was a lighthearted, fun movie. You know what better way? Let's have monsters rampaging through 1930s New York. That isn't King Kong.
Up next, now we get into the exciting stuff.
Yes.
These last four that we're going to cover here are...
What do we call you?
Oh my goodness.
What do we call you?
First name Mr., last name
Glass.
And now, last week during 5 Awesome 5 Alpha, we talked about how much we disliked the movie Unbreakable. Now, actually, scratch that. The ending of the
last
movie,
like 30
Unbreakable.
seconds. Of
I loved the movie Unbreakable, but the whole "Call Me Mr. Glass" thing at the end ruined that movie for me, and I've never watched it again since. I saw that movie in the theater, walked out of it just furious. Split comes along, and I absolutely loved that movie. James McAvoy in that movie was phenomenal.
When I first heard about Split, I thought it was just going to be a regular horror movie, but then to find out that it's connecting the others, the
surprise
movies.
of Bruce Willis showing up at the end of that movie,
Yeah,
and
it's just
suddenly
like,
we've got a shared universe going on.
We got a shared universe going on.
And
that
this
seems
one,
to be a big thing in Hollywood.
It
is
is.
Trying to
It
get
is.
shared universes.
So then all of a sudden they bring these characters together for what I guess it's a trilogy is what they're saying. So we have Unbreakable, Split, and now Glass. So this will theoretically tie that story up in a nice little bow, but it just, I mean, James McAvoy looks absolutely insane in this. Well,
just ripped. He's
obviously he's insane, but I mean in an awesome way.
He's completely the opposite end of the spectrum from a couple of his other characters he plays, which is one of Professor X we mentioned earlier in this very episode.
But oh god, just that.
It's amazing.
Yes.
We got our first trailer for Aquaman. Now then, I really think now we're starting to see individual individual DC movies coming out, and it's starting to make a better picture.
They're learning from their mistakes
of what's going on with Justice League. Like now, maybe we could have a Justice League 2 where you bring in a bigger bad.
What they're saying is that basically what they're going to do going forward, and they're calling it, instead of calling it the DCEU, they're calling it the Worlds of DC. And basically what that means is you're going to get some movies that are part of the larger canon. You're going to get some movies that are just kind of one shots. See the fact that we're getting 2 Joker movies. Mm-hmm. One with Joaquin Phoenix that is not part of the extended universe,
picture, and one
with Jared Leto that is.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, these movies are their own contained stories that are taking place in the world of the bigger picture, but not necessarily how the Marvel movies. You know, you've got your one contained story, but it at least builds towards the next Avengers movie. Where this one will just be an Aquaman story.
And if it
won't
happens,
necessarily have anything to do with anything else that's happening anywhere else in the DC world. It's just going to be its own story, but it's still in that universe. If
and I
that
mean,
makes sense.
future movies may reference it, but it doesn't necessarily. You know, Kevin Feige over at Marvel has always been really good about making sure that the little connected dots happen. DC is going the opposite end where they're creating individual stories, and if they happen to reference something somewhere along the lines, great, it's a nice little throwback Easter egg.
But it doesn't have
But it doesn't have to.
Now, James Wan is directing this movie, and at the time he took this movie on, he literally was given his pick of, here's every character we've got right now. You can pick the one you want.
Yep.
And he specifically said he wanted to do an Aquaman movie for the simple fact that Aquaman had never been done correctly. He's always been kind of the laughing stock of the Justice League. He talks to fish. They even make the joke in Justice League. But he is way more of an awesome, powerful character.
Oh, yeah. Aquaman is way powerful.
If he's been in water in the last 24 hours, he could give Superman a run for his money.
Yeah.
He's going to lose, but it would be a good
fight. He could stand
fight
for a while. Yeah.
And if he's in the water,
it's over.
It's going to be a long, drawn-out battle.
If he's in the water and he has the trident, good luck, Soups.
Yeah, good luck, Soups.
That's the weapon of a god.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing. I really like how he set this movie up.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
The trailer looks beautiful.
Absolutely.
The very first scene you have Aquaman busting into
the aquarium.
into the sub. Permission to come aboard, but the hands down best thing about this trailer I have seen is Black Manta.
They
got it right.
They stayed faithful to the comic, the look of him from the comic.
Right, and it just the powers of the helmet, and
They took a very cheesy looking character and made it look awesome, and they didn't change a thing.
No, they didn't, and I'm eager to see this.
And he is supposedly the side villain in this. Like, he is a villain, but not the villain. The villain is actually Orn, who is Aquaman's brother, and also known as the Ocean Master.
Yep.
I'm hoping, because what we've seen of him in the trailer, which wasn't much.
No, there wasn't a whole lot of him in the trailer.
That they give him his classic look from the comic, is that helmet and the cape and everything. I love his look. And from what I've seen, I don't know that he has that. Now, there is one thing from this movie that bothers me, and that is the very first look at Aquaman we got 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Think about this for a second. Way back 4 years ago, we got a poster of Jason Momoa as Aquaman with the slogan on it, "Unite the Seven." We all thought that was a Justice League, because there has always been 7 original members of the Justice League. However, in Justice League, there were only 6 members.
6.
The one missing being Green Lantern.
Yep.
But now, in this movie, there are 7 kingdoms underwater. It's not just Atlantis. It's Atlantis and 6 other kingdoms.
Yeah.
And the goal in this movie, or the goal that he is trying to achieve by becoming king of Atlantis, is to unite the 7 kingdoms. So did we really take a throwaway?
1 per 7 seas.
Yeah. Did we really take this thing from a poster from 4 years ago, and we've been wrong this whole time? Or did someone go, we only had 6 people in Justice League. Maybe we should. I got it.
We got this.
7 seas, 7 kingdoms. Yeah. There we go. That's what will unite.
What will unite the 7 kingdoms of the undersea world. Staying with DC. Oh my God!
Shazam! Oh yes!
I had my doubts.
I had my
doubts about him playing Shazam.
This movie could have been way too cheesy. Really easily. And when we first saw the Zachary Levi in the costume and everything, everybody was like, what is this? The fake muscles, the yellow. But then the trailer comes out and doubts
gone. Just gone.
Nope.
It was
sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, I'm a superhero.
I'm a superhero.
And I'm going to get up and fix the camera now. Excuse me for a second. Yes, sorry about the awkward edit there, by the way, but the camera got.
It's okay.
Yeah.
This trailer was everything you could possibly hope for,
and then some. Oh my God! This movie could have. We had our doubts. I mean, this movie could have been just the cheesiest thing ever. I mean, you're talking about a 13-year-old boy who becomes a superhero who is still a 13-year-old boy in the body of a man who's also a god, and wow!
The robbing scene in the trailer when
sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, I'm a superhero.
You're bulletproof. Just what else can I do? And there he's attempting to fly, and
there were a lot of questions about is this movie even part of the DCEU? And in the trailer, we see the kid who was Eddie in It, his adopted brother here, who is wearing an Aquaman shirt. He's got a bullet that had ricocheted off of Superman, supposedly. He's got tons of news articles talking about stuff from Justice League and everything else. He's got a Batarang. He's got action figures. So all of these things. So yes, this is definitely taking place post Justice League.
Yeah, I'm tickled pink about how they're handling the character.
Oh, and it looks.
I had my doubts. And I was like, we're gonna get a trailer. And you know what, WB, DC, WB, you finally looks like you struck it good.
You're going in the right direction. Finally. And of course, when those first pictures came out, and everybody kind of went up in arms about the
bad
suit.
muscle suit.
Yeah,
and it looks
great.
Good. It looks great.
And it's the perfect mixture of comedy and action.
Yeah.
Now, some theories kind of coming up here where Black Adam, his biggest nemesis, is not in the movie. No. But now of course the speculation is: are we going to get a tease of him at the end of the movie? The villain. Oh, man, I'm drawing a blank. Hang on, I'm going to pull this up here. But is another character from the comic, played by Mark Strong. And hang on one second. Villain. He Dr. Savannah. Dr. Savannah is a character who basically gained his strength. He was basically trying to find a cure for this disease that his family had via magic. And the magic that he got was from Black Adam.
Yep.
Black Adam. So the possibility of a tease via that, or maybe the use of that magic awakening Black Adam, maybe the reappearance of Shazam.
We do know that the Black Adam movie is being filmed, and it's The Rock is playing it. So there's your third movie.
There's your after credit scene right there. And so give us that tease. There's also the possibility of a Henry Cavill Superman cameo.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens as well. But
by far,
and allow for dramatic pause here before mentioning the greatest trailer to come from a Comic-Con in recent years. This trailer, if you have not seen it, as soon as we tell you what it is, I want you to pause the video and go watch it immediately, because it is, even if you don't like the franchise, even if you have no interest in the movie whatsoever, just the sheer beauty of the trailer. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Holy crap.
Yeah, amazing. This is a movie that's, as everybody knows, very near and dear to me. I was blown away. And it was put very poignantly at this year's G-Fest. Godzilla, the original Godzilla by Gareth Edwards, was the movie we deserved because it set the universe up. Was it a great movie? Yeah, it had its problems, but it was the movie we deserved by somebody who respected the franchise.
It was a good way to establish a universe. I mean, it was a character about the people, and here's some stuff with monsters every so often. And I think he only had like 19 minutes of screen time. 19 minutes of
screen time, yeah.
But when he was on screen,
he was on screen.
It was on.
Yeah, it was on.
This one they're saying is a monster movie.
If that was the movie we deserved, King of the Monsters is the movie we wanted.
Yes.
This was a film made by a true fan, and the trailer delivers.
Oh, God.
You see monsters.
You are talking about Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Mothra. And apparently there's also this tie-in thing. It's a website.
It's called go to monarchsciences.com.
Yes. That actually shows you a world map and the location of every known kaiju in the world. And there are a lot of them.
They're not just the four that's out there.
Now, we know that Ghidorah comes from Antarctica. We know that Godzilla is in the Atlantic. We know that Rodan is from Mexico.
And Mothra's in China.
Mothra is, well, I don't know that they've said that officially.
It's in China. Officially, it's in China.
And we know that a good portion of the movie takes place in Boston.
Yep.
Now, they've also said that there are a number of other monsters that they've acquired from Toho that are also going to appear in this movie, but they're not telling us who.
Not telling us who, not telling us what. But go and check out those that monarchsciences.com. He tracked Godzilla. He's swimming to locations, and the first location he went to was San Diego Comic-Con. I really like the trailer.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And those were rough, guys. Those were rough visual effects.
The scene where Mothra spreads her wings and the whole blue luminescent light hit. Oh, gorgeous!
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
From a fanboy standpoint, I'm thrilled to death. They got with Akira Ifukube, who did the original scores for a lot of Godzilla movies, and got his family's permission to use those themes in this new picture.
Now, the music that was used in the trailer is actually a classical piece known as Clair de Luna, which literally translates to Moonlight. But just the way that they used that music and matched it up to the scenes where like the two main kind of hits of the music where it swells the most. Is one where Godzilla kind of does this call to arms where he puts the atomic breath up into the air, and then Mothra spreading her wings.
Yep.
And just, oh god, it's gorgeous.
1 year cannot come fast enough. We got it. And you know what, guys? That's going to wrap up our SDCC coverage. There were a lot of things we didn't cover. A lot of new toy releases out there. There's websites galore. NECA is doing a great deal with the tie-in with Halloween and a bunch of the new Godzilla stuff.
They've also released Pennywise via the 1990 It and the 2017 It, and I want them now.
A lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, since their reboot is happening on Nickelodeon. On and on and on. We could do a third episode if we wanted to.
We could have done a week of this.
We could have done a week of this. But we're going to wrap it up here. If we missed a trailer, by all means, put it in the comments below.
What was your favorite thing from Comic-Con? Let us know that. Drop it in the comments. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Keep following us on YouTube. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're in the push to our 300 subscribers.
Indeed. Go ahead and pick yourself up a t-shirt. You can get those on our Facebook page, which is right here. Just send us a private message letting us know what size of shirt you need, what colors you would like. That's color of the shirt and color of the text. You can get a short sleeve shirt for $20, a long sleeve shirt for $22. You can go and pick up one of our hoodies for only $25.
Yep, and we've got a special challenge coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that.
Indeed we do. We haven't done this one in a while.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
We'll see you then.
Hi, I am the one true Ben. This is a magazine. This is not only clip, is a Russian clip, and this is Russian clip of day.
Ничего себе. Вот это залезло.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and if you liked what you see, go ahead and click on our faces to go ahead and subscribe to get all of our Monday through Friday stuff.
Indeed, and here's a couple of links down below that you can follow to watch more shows like it. Tons of great content right here at Scallywag Productions. We'll see you tomorrow.